boy John Albert, aka Lenny Flavor, aka Bike. John, my world on wheels, retired world bike tour. Today is the Tuesday the 9th of October, and I am on the Brays Bayou bike pit path. This is excellent use of otherwise unusable terrain. See how far we can get, but I have to turn around. I'm going to turn around a little bit anyway. Good. And I am on my fantastic CruiseBike T50E frame set. But there, morning. Okay, and there goes the train, the commuter train. Light rail here in Houston. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay. This is pretty good, decent, because there are not a lot of pads on it, which makes a difference. Okay. This is good. Out across well-trafficked streets. Okay. It's asphalt, and it's cracked. Has thermal ridges. Okay, that's what I've got here. That is a pad, and then I've got a cyclist coming towards me, I think. Well, maybe not. I can't tell. Okay, but this so far so good. This is excellent. Excellent. And what's nice is that there are that it is hard surface, all-weather surface going under these bridges. Further west, though, must have run out of money or something. As I go along what used to be the bayou is now a drainage canal, basically, going out to, I don't know, it would go out, I think this probably joins Buffalo Bayou. Continuing east here. Looking good. I am so glad because I have my FrankenBike. It is, the frame set is model T50E. I've got the drop bars from my S40, which I wore out after more than 15,000 miles, 24,000 clicks. And I've got the stem and the caliper from my daughter's, my most favorite #1 daughter, ATV. And I've got the wax chains from my beloved Double Vision. Okay. And I've got, most importantly, a 48 heavy-duty 48-volt direct drive eSystem on here from ebikekit.com. So between on your left, gracias, thank you. Thank you, that's what it's for. He made some other comment I didn't hear, but that's okay. Okay, now, let's see what happens now. I may or may not come back on this route. Okay, I'm ascending a little bit here. I see construction equipment. Will I be able to get through or what? Let's see. So far so good, yes. And I'm going over another bayou. Taha. And can I go down here? I should wait for that other. Let's see what else. That's why I have my whistle going. But between, you got it, CruiseBike.com and ebikekit.com, I am able to get out here and do what I've done for decades prior to aging out. I didn't know I was aged out until mid 2018. I retired from the world-class Isleta Independent School District 31st December 2017. First January and February, I took my first retired bike tour. The first annual, first quarter odyssey. My goal was my good friend, former colleague Doug Antrim's home in Grand Falls, Texas, USA. And it was great on my double. I loved it. The thing I like about going on my double, you know, prior to that, it was my incredibly fantastic stump jumper, which lasted 14 years before I finally wore it out. Okay, let's see what we have here. This is an election sign. Oh no, it's a run for Herman Park. Okay, good. Here we go. On your left. Gracias, thank you. Okay, good. This is so far so great. But anyway, I didn't know how weak I was getting. And I went east from El Paso, Texas, USA on Montana US 62180. East to Cornudas. Fantastic. Was overnighted there. Great Cornudas. I love Cornudas. Everybody should go to Cornudas, Texas, USA. But I love it. I've gone there numerous times overnight. It's just a great, fantastic place. It's under new ownership. They've got great things going in. Okay. So I highly recommend Cornudas, USA. Cornudas, Texas, USA is about 50 miles, 80 clicks east of El Paso, Texas, USA on Montana US 62180. Depending on where you started in El Paso. It was just, I loved it. That was 2018. The construction of Montana US 62180 hadn't gone, the reconstruction hadn't gone east of, okay, what do I have here? I'm going to follow that person on the bicycle. I'm not going to dip down. I'm just going to follow that person on the bicycle. Up there, whom I passed earlier. Okay. Cornudas, it was fantastic. Then I went to Del City. Del City is actually about 15 miles, 24 clicks north of Montana US 62180. Overnighted there. It was great. Spanish Cafe, Spanish Angels Cafe. What a great, I just love camping, eating, of course, recharging my body. Then Eastbound again, going, and I had this huge tailwind that blew me across the salt flats. I guess I could have gone down lower, but okay. Across the salt flats and entering upper Guadalupe Mountains National Park. To access lower the lower Guadalupe Mountains National Park, you have to go through Del City, and that is a hike-in site, just day use only. Okay, let's see what I'm doing here. Okay, since there's no more hard surface when we're down. I'm on the right trail. Del City, I got blown across the salt flats, and it was in the perfect place to camp, with the in the shadow of the highest point in Texas. And I said, well, I can camp here, or I can use this tailwind to blow me over the pass. And if I camp here, the risk is the wind might change. This is winter that I'm cycling, so of course it freezes at night. Let's see what I have here. Okay. Beauty and strength. What you see isn't always what you get. From spring through early summer, the banks of this bayou show a renewed vigor, full of lively colors for everyone to see, but the real show lies underneath. It's a show of strength. You see the wildflower mix chosen by the Harris County Flood Control District not only beautifies area waterways, the root structure that develops beneath the ground surface help hold the soil on the banks, As a result, Harris County bayous are more resistant to forces that cause erosion and are also easier to maintain. Okay. So, I had a big choice. And I said, well, I went for the more romantic part, which was to camp on a very good, separate, old Montana US 6218 that was completely removed from the rest of the road, in the shadow of highest point in Texas. Okay, this is a walkway, pedestrian walkway. Let me get up here and see what I can see. Going to go straight, take the walkway. I can do both. I'm getting to a turnaround point anyway. That's okay. Nice. I'll stop here midstream. And can I do this without? I might not. No, that's about as good as it's going to get. I don't have a good position with my cell phone on this. So, of course, at midnight, the wind did change direction. Now, look, there's a path that goes on beyond there. What does that mean? Yes. The Rail Trail Hall of Fame. Rail Trail Hall of Fame. Guys, I'm curious now. Let's creep up here. And I'm going to creep up here and I'm going to see what's beyond. As soon as this car gets past, I will cross. Okay, I'm off the rail. That rail. Oh, wait, what's this? Okay. That's where I'm going to go. It looks like I'm going to go into the Columbia Tap Trail, Texas AIDS Memorial Gardens. Okay, I'm not going to read all that. But let's go in there. I'm sure I'll be doing a U-turn coming back out here. Okay. Okay, it's a place of healing. That's what this is. Once a neglected piece of land along the Columbia Tap Trail, surrounding the garden is a cherished place of healing. It was officially recognized in 2023 as one of the oldest AIDS monuments in the U.S. of A. by former Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner. Okay. In 1986, R. Michael Lee and his partner Chuck created this Texas AIDS Memorial amid the devastation wrought by the AIDS epidemic and the harrowing loss of friends. Okay. It's hard surface. I'm going to take it. Absolutely. There is a pedestal. Okay, the color. Okay, good. Very nice. Okay, that whole Okay, good. So far, so good. So I camped on that side, and sure enough, the wind changed direction. Water bottle froze up. It freezes up at night anyway. Winter in the desert. This is the Chihuahua Desert. Okay, that's about it. This must just be. I could have turned around there. I should have turned around there. But let's explore down here. So the next morning I got up and I was so out of breath. I couldn't believe how hard it was for me to go over the pass. And I've got very low gears on my beloved double vision. So I was pretty much beset by that. But I finally made it to the pass, and there happens to be the world headquarters for the Guadalupe Mountains National Park is there, and I supported, oh yes, I supported the park system by buying lots and lots of chocolate. Dark chocolate at that, too. So, okay, this is what we have here. Okay, I am officially on the bike route. The bike peg. Okay, here we go. I'm crossing. And get over, going this way, good. Columbia tap rail the trail. Yield to pads, of course. So after nourishing myself and trying to stock up a little bit on supplies, at the world headquarters for Guadalupe Mountains National Park, crossing over the interstate. Okay. Tap into history. Columbia Tap Trail is packed with rich stories shared by perseverance of the surrounding communities through injustice and emancipation. Okay. Well, let's got a map legend, in fact. Look at this. I'm gonna have to come back. Yeah, this is my turnaround point. Historical landmarks: Houston Negro Hospital School of Nursing, John Thomas Biggers Marker, Barbara Charlene Jordan Marker, murals of Hannah Phil Marker, Tour de Hood, Project Row Houses, El Dorado Ballroom, AIDS Memorial Garden, National Bank, SHAPE Community Center, Blue Triangle Community Center, Emancipation Park, Brays Bayou Park. Brays Bayou Park would be my termination, my neighbor. Okay. Oh, I should have all marked on here. It's the bridge that has 1856, 1865, 1916, 1938. So I'm not stopping for all these. I will come back. Isn't that nice? Isn't this great? Okay, continuing on this very nice Columbia Tap Rail Trail. Oh, it's the end! Columbia Tap Trail Trail. That's the end of it. Okay. I see there looks, yeah, that's the end of it. That's okay with me. Okay. So this is my end round. Okay, here we go. Good, very nice. Time to turn around anyway. That's it. Time for me to start heading back where I started this morning. Let's see. That's it right there. Okay, so 2022. Friends of Columbia Tap. And then remember, active members more connected. Okay, it's all connected. Let's see. 1999. I do not see. 1984. Houston saw significant growth post-war 1950s. To construct the highways for its growing suburban. Unfortunately, the development of highways in Houston resulted in targeted clearing of African American neighborhoods. The third ward was heavily impacted by the completion of the Gulf Freeway in the 1950s, and again in the 1970s with the construction of State Highway 288, which was later completed in 1982 and 1985. The Columbia Tap section of the HT&B Railway. That's going to be Houston, Texas, Houston something in Brownsville. That B is undoubtedly Brownsville. Was discontinued. In the following year, the Texas State Memorial Government established that the residents moved up the abandoned rail corridor in Texas South McGregor neighborhood. Okay. 1947. In 1947, Amon Marion Sweat, an African-American historian, was denied admission to the University of Texas Law School for his race. Sweat sued the university, causing the Texas legislature to establish a Negro Law School in Houston. Separate but equal. We know it's never equal. In 1954, the ruling of the Supreme Court case Brown versus Board of Education ruled that racial segregation in public schools is unconstitutional. President Lyndon Johnson signed the Civil Rights Act in 1964, prohibiting discrimination in public accommodation, federally assisted programs, and the Voting Rights Act, ensuring voting rights regardless of race or ethnicity. That's the Civil Rights Act. Okay. Let's see what we have up here. Okay. Okay, it's 1936. Housing impossible. Despite progress, segregation continued. In 1933, the Homeowners Loan Corporation, HOLC, was created as part of the New Deal to refinance homeowners to prevent foreclosure. The HOLC also developed residential security maps for major cities across the U.S. These maps defined areas with perceived threats, labeled them as red and hazardous. The maps shaped access to resources across the nation, and redlining contributed to racial inequalities, disinvestment, and segregation. In 1939, Cooney's home became the first public housing development in Houston. Okay, this is 1916. It's battling segregation. There's no. Okay. This is 1865. That's, I can't, it's not the Leslie. I can't tell what it is, but it's a picture of a plaque. Okay, 1856. Constructed by enslaved people, the Houston Tap in Brazoria. Houston Tap in Brazoria, not Brownsville. Houston Tap in Brazoria Railway, HT&B, provided a means of transport cotton and sugar to Houston from Brazoria County. Brazoria County was then the wealthiest county in Texas and home to 46 plantations. This earned the rail line nickname Sugar Road. Sounds like anything but sweet. The Civil War erupted in 1861 as a conflict over states' rights and slavery laws increased. Texas seceded from the Union, joined the Confederate States in 1861. In 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, abolishing slavery and declaring that all slaves shall be free. Freed, former enslaved people sought refuge within the Union. Okay. Well, there are not other things on there, but that's great. This is great. And I'll take it on back up and we'll go through the AIDS Memorial. Very interesting. So, what's really important is after decades, I don't get back to the fact that I was at Doug's home and I spent a great weekend with him. I'm so pleased I had that time with him, because within a couple of months he died. And then I continued south, going on Texas 18, going to Fort Stockton, Flying J, fantastic Flying J truck stop. Let me camp there. Okay, to stop. Bike route. I'm not going to turn right on the bike route. I'm going to continue. I'm going to retrace my steps now. Careful, I creep across. Make sure no traffic is coming. Okay, good. So, and I camped that night at the Texas Welcome Center, and then went on into, next day went into incredible New Mexico, and my next stop was definitely Carl City, which is the real gateway to Carlsbad Caverns. And I'm not going in any caverns. Most important is that eatery there, and I almost went to stay in the motel there, but that's okay. The most important thing was the eatery. I spent a couple hours eating, then I continued on my way, got to Carlsbad where I overnighted, had great food that I think is called the Blue House the next morning. It was absolutely outstanding. And I planned for how long I was going to, planned ahead. Got to carry lots of clean, fresh water. Can't go anywhere without clean, fresh water. Okay, here's the memorial, the A's Memorial Garden. I'm starting here. Okay. Interesting sundial, because when the sun gets there, it's got to be close to noon or so. Okay. Okay, these are people who have given greatly and supported this great little park. Kenneth Eugene French and James Michael Bricky. Okay, so, and this is a great introduction to the park right here. Let's see. I can't read, it's from 1986. I can't read the marker. But let me finish up on discussing my trip. So after that great overnight at Flying J truck stop, which has a Subway there, so I was staying fully nourished, but I had to plan ahead, and I had to because I knew I was going to be several days without any kind of food or water, because I was going to Big Bend National Park, and I took US 385. Well, I went from Fort Stockton, US 385, and now I made it to Marathon. Marathon, Texas, USA, has one of the finest rural hostels I've ever been to, La Loma del Chivo. You got to go there. It's just a great place. And so I went over, I took advantage of the limited, it's a very small community. And I loved it. Went to French grocery, made sure I had plenty of food, or ample emergency food, and water. Clean, fresh water, gotta have it. And I went up, then after 2 nights of R&R there, I continued going south on US 385. And it took me a couple of days to get to the north entrance of Big Bend National Park. And it was just fantastic. And I bought my day pass, and I was told that there are no reservations. Winter is really the only time to go to Big Bend National Park, because it's too bloody hot in the summer. So I ended up rough camping, which I've done quite a bit of anyway. And got to world headquarters of Big Bend National Park, which is the junction of the north-south road. North-south road tees into the east-west road. And at that point, I turned west. And that tremendous headwind I had going over the pass was now a tremendous tailwind, as fast as I've ever gone. 82 clicks an hour, 49 miles an hour, that tailwind. And I just took that fantastic road westbound until I exited the park. And then it turns, the road turns to the right, goes north, and becomes Texas 118, the route to Alpine. I wasn't going to Alpine. I was going to continue my cycling along the perimeter of Texas, which meant going to Ojinaga. What's that? I don't remember the community route, or the USA community, but it's Route 170. There's a couple of bicyclists who are on the other part of the rail trail. I might be able to go back that way, actually. I see a ped. So after a couple of nights, I got into to Study Butte, stayed at the RV resort, and it was great camping there. But I had access to all the facilities and ate. And where I really ate was the Chili Pepper Cafe. I think that's it. That was the best food there is. I loved it. And it's on at the junction of Route 170 and 118. So I continued west on 170, going, and I passed the signs that warned me 30 miles ahead was a 15% grade hill. I said, well, I've got low gears. Well, but it did not warn us that there are still some very steep inclines on this road. And I just passed terrific Terlingua, and I was going up that first incredibly steep hill, and I fell. Just about at the top, going too slow, and I fell. And so I'm in the right. I've taken up the right lane of this 170, and this pick-em-up passes me, backs up. The woman gets out and says, "Juanito, my husband works in Lajitas. I can give you a lift to Lajitas if you wish." And I thought about it, and I don't remember her name. I had met her and every other customer at the Chili Pepper Cafe, because I always introducing, giving my personal card away. And so I got we put it in my beloved Double Vision in the back of her pick-em-up, and she motored me to Lajitas, met her husband, they just opened up a, what do you call it? An RV walk-in, backpacker, hike-in, bike-in site. And I was one of the very first clients to use that space. It was absolutely great because I had my duct tape and I made the repair on my beloved Double Vision. Also, in coordination with my much better half, decided to terminate my cycling at that moment and backtrack to 118 and go to Alpine, where my much better half would meet me at the subway in Alpine in 4 or 5 days. Again, it took some planning because I ended up, I did return to Study Butte and camped out again at the RV site, or the RV resort hotel. Packed, got set for going I've forgotten how far it is. But again, I was dealing with steep inclines, but I had learned. So I was walking up some of the very steep inclines on 118. And there was one particularly steep incline that I was walking up, and I had taken all my bags off, all my pannier and everything that was heavy on the double vision, and hiked it up to the top of this incline. And I was just about ready to start cycling up with that, because all the weight was now mostly up at the top of this incline. This woman in a van stopped across from the city. I thought I knew I would meet you down here. I brought your bags for you because I know how that you're, that's what you need. So I just I saw your bags and I brought them down for you. And I said, well, that's great, except I'm going the other way. And I took the bags up there and left them there on purpose so I could get up there. And she was a little bit embarrassed, but she graciously said, well, I'll return them up to where I found them. I said, I appreciate that very much. And I walked up that one, despite not having the bags. But it was, and then from there, I kept on going, and I got to the Lone Star Motel. I didn't go there purposely, but I got across from it, and I fell. And I said, there's a reason for that. So I went over to the Lone Star Motel, and I camped for the night by the playground set. Didn't have to use the room, but I got to use their fantastic pool, swimming pool. It's just so great, very cold. And I loved it. And I had a great meal there. The woman who was the cook there is also the cook at the Chili Pepper Cafe back in Study Butte, Terlingua. What a great she's just a master chef, and I was so pleased with that. But they gave me the energy, and I bought some what do you call those things, burritos. So that's what I do. I would pack a little bit of food to go, and I ended up cycling all day, and I camped across from something mountain. So I camped there because I'm not going to cycle in darkness if I can help it, even though I have extremely good lights for night. Visibility is everything. So the next day I made it into Alpine, went to Subway, waited for my much better half, and she finally showed up, and we got our mood, and she had driven our Ranger truck, and so I put the double vision in it, and we went back to our home in excellent El Paso, the hidden gem in the world, crossroads North America, anchored by El Paso, Ciudad Juarez, y Las Cruces. But I did not know how weak I was getting. So I did a mid-year, that's going to be in May. I said, well, I'm going to be cycling over to the Bay Area, where my most favorite number one daughter-in-law and most favorite number one son were living at that time, where computer geeks, a lot of computer geeks would migrate there because of Silicon Valley. And I said, well, I'm going to spend the month of August. I'm going to cycle over to the Bay Area. I'll catch a boat going over to, and there's a cyclist. I might follow that cyclist and just retrace. I don't know. So I got to, that was the plan. And I said, well, I'm going to practice a little bit. And I took the International Fort Hancock Las Cruces I-10 bicycle bypass. And I went, it took me all day to get to Anthony, New Mexico, which is about halfway to Las Cruces, New Mexico, USA. And I couldn't believe that that's an easy thing for me to do. It took me all day. I was mystified. I could not figure it out. And that is May, so that's 5th month. Then I got jury duty, so I said, well, I'm not going to cycle. I'm going to go by air. And I flew to the Bay Area, met up with my most favorite number one daughter-in-law, most favorite number one son for a few days, where I bought my first iPhone. and then flew on to Shanghai, which at that time China had a 72-hour visa-free stay there, and I had to do it because that's where the maglev is, and I had to go on the maglev, staying at a hostel there. Anyway, so from there I went on the maglev, and then I flew on to Chiang Mai, Thailand, where our most favorite #1 daughter was teaching at an international school. And I said, I got a place to go. And that was great. And I did not understand why, I still couldn't figure out why my muscles were atrophying, except for the fact that I was aging out. I just didn't understand it. But I went with and I had carried bike tools with me and a lock and everything. The airport in Shanghai did not allow my tools to go any further. I did not pack them separately. So I said, okay. And I had arranged to buy another recumbent, a recumbent single in Chiang Mai. But I said, well, I'm not going to buy that now. I contacted the owner, who's a little disgusted with me because he wanted to sell that recumbent to me, a single recumbent. And I said, oh, Lo siento. And just as well, because that was my introduction to fantastic grasshopper adventures. Oh gosh, they're so great. Boy and James and it's just and the others who take care of the world. That's the international world headquarters for Grasshopper Adventures. Absolutely great. So I was renting a bicycle. I went on several day trips with them, but I was still having to climb up. Not too many. There weren't too many steep hills, but there were a few, and I had to walk up those. I still couldn't figure it out. So we're talking, and I came back to the USA the latter part of December, former part of January. It's going to be 2018 and 2019. And I had arranged to go on a great grasshopper adventure, a week-long bike tour in Sri Lanka, from Colombo to Galle. And I knew, I needed help, and I had the chance to rent for a little extra money an e-bike, and it was a Trek 80. And that, as soon as I got on it, I said, that's it. My muscles are atrophying. That was the thing. So that was February of 2019. So that's 2 months. It's about 8 months. It took me 8 months before I figured out that I'm just aging out, literally. My muscles are atrophying. So from that moment till the Rite of Silence that year, May of 2019, I tried different e-bikes, and that I ended up with deciding that absolutely CruiseBike.com is the only way to go. And by May, by the Rite of Silence, I had contacted Jason, the owner operator of ebikekit.com, and I arranged to buy a heavy-duty 48-volt eSystem. Now I'm going to follow him. I can follow him instead of going back. I won't backtrack too much. So now I am, and it was great. But I got over 15,000 miles, 18,000, 24,000 clicks, 3.5 years before I finally had modified the S40 a little too much. When I went through on the East Coast, I Went through Brooklyn, New York, met up with my good friends Diane and KJ, and he gave me a customized bike tour of some of the boroughs, and I fell twice for him on my S40. And when they learned that I had ruined my S40 after 3.5 years, and he sent me an image of a CruiseBike that had a motor on it. I said, that's it. I contacted Maria, the president of CruiseBike.com, and she said, yes, that's the T50E. We happen to have 2 that have been returned for superficial damage, and I said, I'll buy them both, one and a spare, and that's what I have right now. I have the T50E frame set, the bars from the drop bars from my S40, the stem, and front caliper for my most favorite #1 daughter's ATV, abandoned ATV, and I love it. And that's what I'm on right now. And so right now I have about almost 10,000 miles, 16,000 clicks on this new version, and I will have it forever because the T50E has the dropouts drilled to accommodate the slightly wider E-axle. Okay, that's what I was just on, right there. And that's why this is going to last me forever. So I am returning now, and I'm going to terminate this great. It's an El Paso day here. Can't really accept the humidity. But I am. Today is Tuesday, the 9th of October, 2024. I wish you the very best. Soy John Iberg, aka Juanito Iberg, aka Biker John. Adios.